Hello and welcome to another week of game development. This week, pretty good. Made a bit of progress. Small steps still. I've been working on the chest. So now if I click on the chest, it gives you some info, telling me it has treasure and then there's a refill timer. If I actually come into the vector here, I can manually change these. So if I just reset the timer and then say it doesn't have loot, you can see it gives me this thing telling me when it refills. And the other thing I've done is I've added movable windows. So now you can drag it and keep it out of the way, and then when you close it, it's supposed to reset the position, but apparently I'm not calling that function. So that's something to work on. Okay, and that's saying it has treasure again. So now if I place the spawner down, let that spawn, and add the movable thing. Now it's moving. I've also fixed most of the height for the movement. I still need to do the initial spawn. And then in a minute, we'll start looting. Oh, there we go. Took a while. And the loot bar didn't show up, I don't think. Where is that in hierarchy? Let's have a look. No. Come in, place all these. First, corners. Down, and then we'll have a look. The UI. Oh, it'll be in the world canvas. Here. There's looting slider. So change the looting, and the looting slider should. Oh, yeah, there it goes, set to active, and it's now following the rotation again. So, yeah, that's a success. So, pretty happy how we're doing here. Next thing will be working on making sure it does the next steps, because it finds a target and then starts looting. I think now I need to do the if it doesn't find a target, because that's sort of what we're at now. I think at the moment it just sits there, because even when this finishes, this has treasure, this isn't actually doing anything. If I come in here, test mob, you go in the data here, you can see none of this data is changing. It's just sitting here, the path following, things not changing at all. But yeah, again, not a lot of progress, but I'm actually pretty happy with what actually got done this week compared to other weeks. There's actually quite a bit of digging around the code and adding and tweaking stuff in. And then I can actually show you how simple it is to add the movable thing. So if we take the mob info on here, then I just add component and I just add this drag UI. Oh no, hang on. Put that on the toolbar. There we go. A component drag UI, and you set the parent object, and then you add an event trigger for on pointer down. I believe. Go in here, and we go to grab. We do double check. Pointer down, drag, and then pointer down, drag, and then I'm at the way functions. This just stops the background from being activated. So now, oh dear, having fun there. So now I can click and drag this around. But yeah, that's a nice feature to have. So I'm happy I did that. See, like there's no blocking the raycasts for the clicking on the exit button at the moment, so you can sort of click through the UI to place stuff. That's what this UI functions thing does. I can set a tooltip, but if it's blank, it just leaves it. Now, when I set it to live, I move it over here, then it's supposed to reset position, but that's not a difficult thing to add. But yeah, if I move it over here and I click, see, going under it. So I need to go through and add the UI functions to more of this. But yeah, that's what I get done this week. Hello and welcome to another week of game development. This week I actually got a few things done. One of which you'll see, but that's going to take a bit of explaining. So first, I tweaked the dungeon entrance. So now it's technically 3 tiles, which means it places in the center, which I think is just neater because then I spawn them here and they can walk through, and I think that just looks nicer. And another thing is I've actually finished doing these tiles which have the board around them as opposed to these ones which are just plain. Now, as you can see, they're only using one texture at the moment. So if you had something that has pattern on, like these planks or whatever, you can't rotate them. And apparently that's not actually working, okay? Rotation is broken at the moment. Let me make a note of that. Fix rotation. There you go. But for some reason I hadn't actually included rotation for when it tessellates. I may have had a reason for that at the time. I think it was just based on using these models for these ones. I'm not sure. When I go to add that, I might discover why. But the thing you might have noticed while I've been doing this is I've been doing this all while the game is paused. And that's because I decided that the only time it would be playing is when the mobs are spawning and moving around and things. Because I thought that just works better and it should be easier later for when it's updating mob pathing. It's like if you then go in and change the terrain, it's like if there's a chest here and it's pathing, then you go and change the terrain, so you block this off, then this mob needs to find a new path. So I think that will make more sense. It is sort of broken at the moment, I think. Like if I go in delete mode and delete a bunch of this. Oh, well, apparently I fixed some of it. Earlier the walls weren't being replaced and everything. But as you can see, it's placing tiles at the top here, which I don't actually want. Is that just with box select? No, it's doing it with these as well. Like, I don't actually want that. Let's see if there is actually anything under it. No. Sort of guessing here. And we want, it'll be a depth of 0. Oh, here's one. Okay, so there is actually, I am actually adding the floor, so I just need to not spawn the top when it's at depth of 0. Okay, that's an easy fix. So yeah, be happy with the progress and finally got these tiles sorted out. So that's a good thing. But yep, I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's quite annoying. Well, the tiles took ages to do because I had to unwrap everything, but they're done now. So that opens up more possibilities, and I think I'm gonna probably get rid of these. I'll keep all the files and everything, but I'll just remove it from here. And then I'll just remake it using these, which I'm happy with. Hello, and welcome to another week of game development. This week, pretty happy with the progress. Got some decent things done. First thing, I'll go over the things I fixed from last week. So if we go into delete mode now, and delete these, you can see it's no longer spawning the tiles up there. That was just, I was only using the type of tile, and now I'm using the depth. So basically, if the depth is 0, don't spawn a tile there. So, yep. Another thing I fixed is with these planks here. You'll recall they weren't rotating last time, and they're back to not rotating, so that is an issue. But the reason they're not rotating is I did find it out, and I think I've just worked out what the problem is. Let's go to where they are, which is tiles, and then planks. You can see there's just this checkbox at the bottom that says rotatable. I just need to check that on, and then I can do this one. That one's still on. So now let's make it didn't reset. Okay, good. Now if we press play, a while to load, and then come in here. Now we can rotate as we please. So that's clearly being reset, and I don't think there might be a custom editor attached to this, which is I'm just not updating it properly. But yeah, so it's just it turned that value off for some reason. Now if I go back to terrain mode, and I'll just make some more terrain. Getting some lag spikes when I'm doing that. I have to look into that. And if we go back to this blank one that we made last week, I've made it so you can rotate it. I don't know why I hadn't done. I talked about that I deliberately not included it before, but I'm not sure why I'd done that because clearly it works fine and the textures connect properly. So I'm not sure. Although I need to make a note to reset the floor rotation icon. Clearly it's setting the direction, but as you can see, this is displaying. Is it? Wait. Oh no, I think it's fine. I think it's just because I'm rotated. That maybe I just need to have a north-south indicator here. Maybe that's what I need to do. That's something I've done. Another thing I've done is if you pay attention to the mana level at the top, I've now made it so if we change the mana rate here, so let's put it up to 10. Current mana rate 10. Oh, we're paused. That's why it's not updating. Okay, so you'll see it tick up to 30. But now, if we just change the mana rate here to, let's say, 6,000. Ta-da! I've made it so it contracts, and then we can keep going. Go up to million, billion, and billion. There we go. Not quite sure if that's necessary, but I just made a function that you just pass it the value and it gives you back the string contracted. It's not actually doing anything with the number, it's displaying it like that. So, yep, I'm happy about that. And then the other thing that I'm really excited about is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and that was to change the camera depth. If I go to terrain mode here, and there was the issue where if you make it one tile very narrow and deep, really hard to see. But now, if I just press the bracket keys, we descend, and there are some issues, okay? That's a good thing to know. So, apparently they're deleting where they don't need to. That. Okay, so, but you get the idea. So now you can move up and down. I'm not actually hiding objects or anything. If I just place a chest down here, and then when we go down, it'll just be floating. So I just need to add those in to the list of things to do. I'm not sure why those tiles specifically went away. I'm not sure, and then the placement indications being a bit odd. That is another thing. We're not finished with this, apparently. I kind of thought I was, but still work to do on that. But as you can see, I'm sort of cheating. Well, not really. But basically, I just made multiple layers of meshes, and then we just hide the one we don't need to see, and then just toggle it back on. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's deleted all of these. And I feel like that's going to be annoying to debug. So that's a bit disappointing, but I've got places to start. Yep. So that's all I've implemented. I have been playing around though. So I actually have to restart to do this. But if I've got this temporary chest here. So if we below the ground, so if we just play again, I can, if I press tab here, it actually opens. Now that may not seem all that impressive, and it's not really, but the important thing is this is an entity. So if I come into the hierarchy here, and oh, this is it. Yep. So the important thing here is that ECS currently, I don't think even the release version does, but this is not a lot older one, so this definitely doesn't have it. It doesn't really have any support for animations. So I've worked out a way that I can animate it. So what it gets the child entity, which is the lid, at startup. Well, not start. Yeah, I think it does actually. But it grabs the entity, and then I just have a fixed value to rotate it to. If I do 100, you see it opens. That's all that does. It doesn't close. If I put 0, and it closes. So yeah, it's a good start, and I don't think I'm gonna. I've got a plan for actually making a sort of animation system to do more complicated animations, because this is just open, close. If I want to do something where it's multiple things moving, probably won't work as well. But I'm not going to start that next week. I don't think. I'm going to focus on fixing up those issues and getting those sorted first. Hello and welcome back to another week of Game Development. It's going to be a very short update. This week was just ironing out some issues that have been existing. So one of those was that if you let go of placing when you were over UI, it would have bits missing, and you probably saw that over here sometimes when I was clicking over things. But that's now fixed. And the other thing I've done is that if you move the camera down and place, it hides the walls automatically, and then if you go too deep, you can't place because it's restricting you, so you can only place where you can see. Now I thought I'd mostly fix the issue with the grid tiles not lining up properly, but apparently there's still some weirdness going on here. Not sure what's causing that still. But that's just something to keep an eye on. It might be to do with when you're hovering over an entity versus hovering over the mesh. I'm not sure. But I think that's actually all I did that you can visually see. I did clean up some stuff. One of which was I streamlined the camera height adjustment, although actually working because I don't know if I forgot to test that. So that's something that needs fixing. But yeah, I've just been neatening up the code in places. So yeah, that's all I managed to get done this week. Next time I'm gonna make a start on making this animation system and see how that goes, because hopefully that should be pretty useful. But yep, that's it for this month. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.